They have all been very kind to me here, but I would say this, standing as I do in the view of God and eternity, I realize that patriotism is not enough. I must have no hatred or bitterness towards anyone.
I don't deserve this! Where are we?
I was educated 2 years ago. I should be in heaven or hell by now.
How do we get there?
Well, I would know that if I wasn't here.
Sorry, wait, why were we executed?
Spying stuff? Well, it was more like helping soldiers escape and hide.
I was a spy too, and I stole information from men by seducing them. My codename was H21. What was yours?
I didn't have a code name.
I tried so very hard not to be executed. I was only 41 years old.
I was 49 years old when I was executed.
What did you do when you were alive?
I was a British nurse in Brussels, and the city was captured by Germans, and that happened during the first month of the war. But I chose to remain at my post and tend to whoever, not caring what nationality they were. I tended to British and French soldiers that were captured, hide in a private home in Brussels if there was no more room in the hospital, and that way they could return home or back to their units. My loyalty and humanity laid with Britain, and that's why I helped him escape, even though I knew the consequences.
You did a really good thing, and you should be proud of that.
Thank you. What did you do when you were alive?
Well, I was a spy, as I said before, and I would often travel very far and wide to get my information. I already met falling at my feet as a dancer, so it was easy to get them to tell me information they knew about the war. I worked for the French intelligence, and no one thought I was smart enough to defeat such a thing.
You were very brave to do that.
How did the British and French soldiers know to go to you?
The soldiers that were not yet captured by the Germans had help by a man named Cavell, and Cavell asked me to take them in. He disguised them as Belgian laborers, and that way no one would recognize them. But he brought them to me. I helped about 200 soldiers from the Allies. The Germans were trying to prevent these men from going back to their units. What exactly did you do to get the information from them?
Well, I had my ways of getting information from them. I would seduce them for their information. The Germans found me very suspicious of me because I wasn't that smart with my words when I was trying to seduce them. It was the only way, I swear.
Well, okay. I was found suspicious too.
Did you have anyone special in your life?
No, I didn't. I only made one friend during nursing school, Evelyn Danson. What about you? Did you have a family? Or anyone special in your life?
I had a husband with a son, Norman, and my beautiful daughter, Jan. Most shortly after my husband, he left me and took my beloved daughter with him. That's when I started to perform, and I moved to Paris.
I'm so sorry you lost your family. That must have been very hard on you.
Oh, it's all right.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood, well, when I was 15, my mother died, and when I was sent to live with my godfather, his name was Mr. Visser, he sent me to a school to learn how to teach kindergarten, so then that way I would have a job. The lead master of the school ended up liking me, and he pursued me. A scandal broke out, and then, well, I was asked to leave school, so what my grandfather didn't want for me didn't work out, and I ended up living with my uncle. I was engaged by the time I was 18. What was yours like?
I was the oldest of 4 children, and my father always taught us to, before dinner, we made a habit of making sure we would carry a chunk of meat to poor families in the village. I rarely found a reason to smile. I was taught at home because we were not able to afford a private school. I attended a special school at Laurencourt. I wanted to help a needy group of people, and my dad got sick, and that's when I decided to become a nurse. I entered London Hospital nurse training. I stayed there as a private nurse for a while, but then I decided to teach. I met a man named Antonio Depp Page, and he wanted to start a nurse's training school. and he offered me a job, and I accepted.
I'm so sorry. You must be so fortunate to have gotten to work with soldiers and putting smiles on their faces.
I think they're happy just to have someone helping them to get better, to be able to return to their units.
I'm so sure that they had a smile on their faces.
Well, thank you.
How did you get caught?
A man came to me who called himself Jacobs and claimed that he heard of me from some peasants near Mons, from some soldiers that were escaping, but found me by asking neighbors where I lived. Even though I wasn't totally sure if his story was true or not, I trusted him and brought him in. He stayed for a week and avoided any personal questions. Gaston Quien was a very handsome Frenchman. He also came and asked me many questions, getting as much information as he could. He resisted to be discharged, and I had to insist that he leave. But he came back a week later, claiming that French officials ordered him to come back to get information. They added surveillance, and after a while they were able to get evidence against me. Everyone was telling me to escape, but I wouldn't. On August 5th, 1915, they arrested me and tricked me to give them a full confession, telling me it was the only way to protect my friends. I trusted them and gave them everything. My trial lasted 2 days. I was sentenced to death, and I accepted it. What about you? How did they find out that you were a spy?
The French found me very suspicious because of all my traveling across their borders. Once I had to hide myself from a Frenchman by my sex appeal. It was horrible. He hurt me like no one ever has. But I escaped shortly. The French never stopped having suspicions for me. Eventually they arrested me and kept me in jail for a month. Then they killed me, and here I am now. I'm scared. Where am I? I don't want to go to hell. I don't deserve this.
That's such a pity. Hello, heaven.
I tried so very hard to be executed.
Nobody wants to be.
No, no one wants to be executed, Jake.
Just imagine your least favorite teacher standing in front of you. It might help.
Jake, good God, you're supposed to pull me in. Come on, bro. Just I'm gonna be over here like this. Get behind the door.
What do I do?
Oh wait, then. Oh yeah, we had the. You move your knees. Go like. Okay, go in your room. Okay. Okay.